Welcome everyone to the Flux Dev Meeting, July 11th, 2024. Would anyone like to kick us off?
Oh, did you say anyone?
Whoever wants to go for the first agenda topic, or
Yes. I thought you were saying a name. Hi everyone, I'm Tomo. I can kick it off. I just have a small announcement for anybody who is thinking about going to KubeCon Salt Lake City. The travel scholarship link is out and it is due on September 1st. If yes, you're hoping to attend, or maybe you're waiting to hear for a speaker, a talk submission. It's a strange system, but the due date to apply for scholarship funding often happens before you even know whether your talk was accepted. So here's the link so you don't miss it. Just so you know, I and others are committed to be there. We will have a Flux booth, all the usual Flux activities. Last time they had Project Lightning talks, so we plan to do that again if that's the same offering that they'll do. Usually we put stuff in the keynotes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Maintainers will be there. So we would love if anybody was wondering about maybe going to KubeCon and hanging around with Flux people and maybe even being at the Flux booth, but you don't know about travel funding, the link is there. So if you have any further questions on how to apply or the application process, let me know and I'm happy to help you. That's all for me.
Hey, Tamo, do we have the list of who is going from the maintainers? Kingdom, are you going?
No, I can share. It's pretty early, so I haven't created an event doc yet, but the committed people right now are me, Lee, and Pinky.
Okay.
And
Cool.
I don't think I'll be able to make it at this point, but anything could happen.
it doesn't hurt to apply, I guess. And thankfully, Salt Lake City, I think, is probably fairly affordable, to at least for the airfare for a lot of people. It's sort of centrally located. Sorry, within the North America.
Yes,
I can.
it's beautiful. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it this year, though.
Yeah. But Stefan, I'll type the answer to your question.
Thanks.
So next, someone typed in review current GA dev focus. Blockers need help. Or is that a general? Oh, that's a general thing.
That's our standing weekly note.
Yeah, sorry. Space that.
I can give an update, Dipti here. I can give an update on the implementation for the passwordless GitOps.
Cool.
Great.
So I just started working on it this week, and I started making changes in the package repo for adding a Git authentication package and Azure Auth. I'll try to have something out tomorrow or maybe early next week. So right now I have like unit tests that I'm adding for the individual functionality in each of the packages. And to test it out end to end, I'm kind of modifying the source controller package and kind of replacing the Go mod. The one question that I had was like, do we have any end-to-end tests for targeting the scenario, like with Azure workload identity, like any place where we write those tests? Because right now that validation I'm doing manually. So that was the one question that I had.
We used to have Azure tests. We don't have access to an Azure account. Everything is disabled. So the answer is no.
No, okay. So and manual validation is good enough? Or
Oh, wait. We For Git, we don't have anything. But for OCI, we have the code, but we don't run it. Last time I tried it, it was working. We have workload entity tests as well. It was working. For Git, we don't have anything. But maybe last year, what's his name? I forgot his name. Sanskar was working on writing some. I think I shared a branch from the test infra repository
Yeah,
where he created infrastructure for this purpose.
is there like, is it the, I think I remember a couple of weeks ago, is there like any doc, like the README doesn't have any info, but is there any info like on how we run it or anything of that
So
sort?
it's in the individual repository. So if you go to package OCI test integration directory,
Mhm.
you would see all the detailed
see.
instructions how you run this thing. Or you can go to Flux repository as well. There is an integration test directory which
Okay.
has all the instructions how you run it
It's in
against your
package OCI
account.
integration test, you said?
Right. There is a read in the directory.
Okay, I'll take a look. I'll take a look. But I think those are like the pending pieces from my side. And I also wanted to understand in terms of like sending out the review, because the package changes and source controller changes are like in two different repositories. How are they typically kind of reviewed? So do like obviously we'll probably be reviewing the package changes first because we are that needs to go in first. And because the source controller, what is the typical process? Like, do we send out both the PRs together and one goes in first after the review, and then the second one, like the source controller one, would obviously, because currently I have replaced the Go mod to test it out end to end. So just wanted to understand that part.
Yeah, so you open two pull requests in source controller. The one you open should be in draft mode with the replace there.
Mhm.
The idea is we need to see, will, in order to review the pull request in package and merge it, we should be looking at how is actually used in a controller, right?
Yep.
But
Makes
the source controller pull request has to be in draft mode, and it will stay there until we merge and release package. Then you can go and remove the replace and point it to the release in package. Make sense?
Yep, makes sense. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Thank you so much. I'll try to send something out in a few days. Thank you.
I was thinking about the cache that we are introducing for OCI, and that's relevant to Git as well. Sule is not here, right? So Sule, he added the cache in the package repository, and he was trying to add it in, or use the cache in source controller in the OCI repository reconciler. But I think he encountered the issue where we need, how do we invalidate the cache when authentication fails? And we had discussions for last week and again 2 weeks ago also, that maybe it's better to invalidate the cache within the client. So in case of OCI, the OCI client knows more about what kind of errors are such that you have to invalidate the cache, or errors are temporary errors. If you retry, it's okay. Similarly, in case of Git, whatever error you get when you clone or push, in the Git context, you know what you need to do. Should you retry or should you invalidate the cache and get another key? So I think it's relevant here as well. You may have to make changes in the Go Git client, our version of Go Git client, or our abstraction, and do invalidation of the authentication token.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Also caching. To
Yep.
validate
You
something, have
include
to
the
cache
cache
it, right?
and then
Yeah.
I'd include the cache and then invalidate.
Yeah, I think right now I just started looking into the cache code and I'm kind of including it, just like using the cache as one of the auth options and kind of caching the Git credentials. But yeah, the invalidation is a good point. I will look into that as well. You said Sunny, sorry, you said Sule is, uh, does he have a PR out with like the invalidation for OCI, or is that something that he's figuring out?
I think it's not available. He has the old attempt in source controller. There's a dark PR, but that doesn't have invalidation, I think.
Okay, okay.
If he silently pushed something, I am not sure. I did not see anything. Can
No,
check.
but the pull request is here. I'll paste it in chat. Around cache. That's only caching.
Cool. Thank you.
And when you make changes to, or on the package side, when you add Git repository, it would be nice to be able to run and validate that it actually works without source controller. So because of which we expect the end-to-end test code to be there. Like the source controller PR will help us see how you're using it. But if you have an integration test in package repository itself, it would be easier to actually run and see if it's actually working without involving source controller.
Yeah, makes sense. And you said that in package for OCI, it's at package OCI integration test. Is there already something for Git in terms of integration tests as well, or is nothing exists today?
It's not there, but I would recommend copying most of the frame and just, I'm thinking it will be almost the same. It's just your tests would be different. Maybe have a look at what is happening. It's like when you run the test, it will provision the whole infrastructure using Terraform, and then it will get the config and then run Go tests against that infrastructure. So it would be almost similar for this. You'll create a Azure DevOps repository, and that will be included in the tests. So it will be almost similar. Have a look.
Okay,
Maybe we
I'll
should
take a
have
look.
a common directory for all the tests.
Okay, I'll
It will be
take a
very
look and I'll see. I wanted to understand if there are any changes to be made for the integration test. Do you recommend that I kind of merge it in the current PR, or do I have like a separate PR for the integration tests? Like what is the preference?
You can base it on, have a separate branch
How big?
on top.
Okay.
On top of the base Git changes, have a separate branch for just the test. Could be easier to
Yeah.
review.
Yep. Makes sense. Cool.
Yeah, so there is also in Flux 2 in the integration package, we do create Azure DevOps repos there. So basically it's a mix of
Alright.
the code in OCI, which has OEDC for Azure, and the code in Flux 2 integration, which has Azure DevOps provisioning and teardown. Right, so combining the two, you should be able to have a end-to-end test in package, which creates an AKS cluster, sets up OEDC there, creates an Azure DevOps repo, and yeah, tests the pull procedure. Sunny, what we could do to have this easier in package. So we could create OEDC Azure branch, and all the pull requests could go against it. So when we merge one, it doesn't go into main. We merge then the end-to-end test, and at the end, we merge everything into main. Let me create the range.
Can do.
Yeah, I'll create it now once.
So there will be like a staging branch on which we'll merge these changes and once everything is merged, we'll merge it together. Right. Dipti, there is a in Flux 2 repository under test integration Terraform Azure directory, there is a Azure DevOps.pf Terraform file. So I think what you'll need would be very similar to that Terraform code.
Could
It
you
creates a Azure DevOps repository.
could you just share like the path in the chat if possible?
I'm on an iPad here. I cannot
Okay, no
paste.
worries.
I
Can you
but
tell
somebody
the
can type.
path again then? Okay.
So Flux2 test directory integration Terraform Azure.
Okay.
And that integration test README has instructions about prerequisites of setting up this whole thing, creating an Azure DevOps organization, getting a personal access token. In this case, we need personal access token. Maybe.
So
Oh,
we
wait,
need the
for provisioning, you
manual
still need a.
Mm.
I think for provisioning, you still need it because you're doing it from outside. But for when you're running the test, you're inside the environment, and then you need manage entity. So look at the README of this integration test, which has details about creating the organization, Azure DevOps organization.
Okay. Okay, I will take a look. Thank you so much.
So I posted two links for you in the chat. One is the branch in package that I created. So all your pull requests should target this branch and not main.
Okay.
And I also gave you the link to the README with the help on how to run the Azure tests.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
And one more thing, the test infra repository branch that keep forgetting is his name.
Sounds good.
Sanskar, sorry. Sanskar is working on. I think that is for creating a common Terraform module because the same code would be needed everywhere. So what we have in this Flux2 Terraform can be moved there in the test infra package. Does it make sense?
I'll actually,
The Terraform.
yeah, I think at a
The
high level it
Terraform.
makes sense, but I'll just take a look. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. I can rephrase it. The Terraform code in Flux repository is used just there, but now we'll need it in other repositories as well. So Sanskar was trying to move it into the test infra repository so that the projects can import it and just use it instead of writing it in individual Terraform files.
I see.
Fine.
Okay.
Okay. You can ask again.
Okay.
I need to go in 5 minutes. Any particular questions for me?
I got one, if nobody... I can talk, is okay?
Welcome.
Sure.
Yeah, because I think 2 weeks back I was looking for how to use the automation with a digest. So you point me to 2 pull requests. Those pull requests are pretty, I'm not sure if they stalled or not. And I was wondering if, yeah, what can I do? Can I help to try to fix the remaining issue? Or do you know if it will be processed? I'm not sure. So I give you some pull requests.
So you can ping Max in the Flux contributors channel and ask him about the status and if he can work on it. When I talked to him after that meeting, he said yes, but he hasn't done anything, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
As you may know, no one is paid to work on Flux, so it's all about.
Okay, so I will I will comment the pull request and just asking.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's
thank you.
probably busy with other things. I don't know. We'll see if he has time or not. If not, we can pick it up.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
By the way, have you
I'm
seen
off.
the? Okay.
Hmm?
I
Okay,
was asking.
go. I have 3 more minutes.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Sam.
I'm not sure if he's aware of the image reflector pull request that's associated with this. Is he aware of that? For digest?
Digest, yes. So I'm not sure it was a question for
There's
me or.
for you. So there is a pull request in image reflector that adds digest support. Are you aware of that?
And the reflector? I'm not sure to understand.
In the image reflector repository, there is a pull request that adds digest support. Are you aware
Yes.
of that pull request? Okay.
Yeah, but I
Just ask.
think it's linked to those 2 pull requests that do the job, in fact. I think
Right,
there
right.
is one that is just one that references the other one, I guess.
I say it's linked in the automation pull request. It's linked there. Okay, I see.
In fact, if the 2 pull requests I gave are merged or are completed first, I think it's the issue is closed.
Anything else?
Okay, I'm off. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
For anything else for anyone else? Going once, going twice?
I just sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just small update on the RFC. I added a few options for events on the RFC just to have a few on the table that I had just to have a few potential ones that might work. Keep the discussion going. Yep.
I'll have a look. Okay, thanks.
Yep. No worries. No rush.
For me, I have 2 pull requests ready for review. I'm adding to the doc right now. One is for support of the spec.proxy secret ref field of OCI repository API. Oh, understand why. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's in the document. And the other one is the RFC for custom event metadata from annotations. I addressed the comments there and is ready for another round of review as well. Yep, those 2.
Regarding the proxy thing, it's more like we are adding proxy support, right?
Yep.
Previously, we didn't have it native proxy support. It worked through Go's environment variable, right?
Yeah, like we only
Second.
supported through environment variables, like it's how the default transport from the HTTP package like retrieves from environment variables, right? So this is like support for like integrated with
Per
multi-tenants.
object.
Yeah, per
Per
object. Yeah,
object.
so yeah,
Proxy.
exactly. Yeah, the same thing
I
I
was
did
thinking
for
should
yeah.
I don't remember the title of that PR. I was thinking, can we just rename it to add proxy support to OCI repository?
Sure.
Okay.
Add proxy support for a server. Yeah, let me change. Add proxy
Like-
support for OCI repository. Done.
And if you want to, you can, or it's not required. Like I can understand if anybody's reading, you can describe what is happening and how you use it, but that's in the code itself. That's okay. No.
Cool.
And I'll go through the RFC.
Cool, thanks. This is from me.
Okay. Anything else?
If not, then we can end the meeting here.
Cool. Good seeing everybody.
If you have time, wait,
Okay.
Kingdom.
No,
After yesterday's, huh?
go ahead.
Or we can talk about after the meeting.